Hey dance teachers, Nia here. I just have some tips for you. Sorry I've been a little bit absent on YouTube. I've been busy teaching, so therefore I've racked up a lot of tips and advice that either I got as a younger dance teacher or I am glad that I got so that I can share it with you. Be sure to subscribe for more tips, comment on other things that you'd like me to cover in regards to the dance industry, and thumbs up. So first, dance teachers, be sure to read your contracts with the dance studios that you are signing up with. Most of them are really standard, and if anything makes you question it or uncomfortable, definitely work it out with your employer. One thing that sometimes makes my colleagues uncomfortable are the non-compete clauses. So let's say your contract says you cannot teach at another studio within a 10-mile radius. It makes sense. You have to think about it coming from the employer's point of view because they don't want you to be teaching at their competitions. However, there needs to be an understanding from the viewpoint of the employee because you need to cobble together a schedule in order to make a reasonable living. Therefore, maybe some discussions can be made about the radius reducing or some other element that can be added into the contract to make sure that you will not solicit clients from one studio to another, things like that. So just try to work it out with your employer. Sometimes they can be really understanding, and if they're not, then maybe that's something to consider before you start teaching there. But also please consider the employer's point of view because they're just trying to protect their own business too. When your employer asks you to take attendance for your classes, it's really important. I find it helps me learn students' names better too, seeing it in writing every week. But it comes down to billing because the front desk or the office manager needs to know who's coming to classes, and your attendance is really important in that element because it's going to boil down to billing. How much should they be billed? How much are they coming? How much are they not coming? Are they even enrolled in this class? See, so it's really important. It's just little check marks on a piece of paper, or some studios even have an app that you can take attendance on. Super simple to do it in the beginning of class, or even if you are lucky enough to have an assistant, have them take attendance for you. Super easy, but very important. Another tip I have for dance teachers is to consider doing continuing education at least once a year. This includes taking class for yourself, seeing what's out there and new in the industry, and it really helps with freshening up your lesson plan so that you yourself don't get bored, because if you're bored, your students will probably follow suit shortly after. I personally found a lot of benefit joining Dance Masters of America and attending their teacher training school. It was so helpful in developing lesson plans and syllabus for different levels of different classes. For instance, the first year that I attend teacher training school, you're taught what to teach a beginner level student. You go back the following year and you're taught what to teach an intermediate student. The third year you go back, you're taught what to teach advanced students. And this is in most subjects such as ballet, tap, jazz, lyrical, modern, hip hop, and musical theater. I found a ton of benefit from those type of programs. Plus it was really fun because it was like summer camp for dance teachers. You stay there for a week, you're in the dorms, and you end up making other friends from all over the country. There are other less committal, maybe just weekend long programs out there, but really consider something like that. In addition, Dance Masters of America has different chapters, organizations around the country, so you could join your local one, and they provide continuing education events as well. It's almost like joining a fraternity or sorority, but for dance teachers, and you have a lot of benefits included. What I love about it is that I have my dance teacher friends within my community that I could reach out to for advice or talk about the wins and the great things that happened that day. And it's so comforting and refreshing to have that community surrounding you. It really feels uplifting. Another tip I have for dance teachers is to remember to rest. I kind of learned this the hard way and experienced burnout. I'm still working on how to balance being there for my students and clients the best that I can be, but also remembering to rest, literally my body, because it's an active job, and my mind and my soul. As we all love our jobs, that's why we do it. There's something to be said about just stepping away from it, even if it's just making sure you have 1 or 2 rest days a week, because then you come back totally refreshed and ready to give it your all.